Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to Bullion Bullz live stream where we focus on systematic trading. What we're looking right now is gold trying to continue its bullish momentum it had in the Asian session yesterday, but it's kind of struggling right now. It struggled to continue during London session. We kind of took our trade based on our indicator here, which automatically plots our stop loss and our take profit. We're interested in a minimum 1:2. So with this update, what's going to happen is you guys are going to see the trades that we take live. So it's not going to be repainted. What's going to happen is as soon as we see one of our indicators, flashing buy or sell, an automatic stop loss and a take profit would appear in front of you guys on the screen. So right now, market is looking bullish, and we are seeing our pressure starting to build up here. Volume is picking up on the buy side, but we just got to be very, very careful, especially because market's overall direction right now is, let me quickly see, it is bullish. Market's direction is bullish as well. And then on the daily, we can see that the candle opened above the previous day candle. So everything is pointing towards being bullish. Let's see if we are able to take, if price continues to push up. There was a news day before yesterday about commercial banks buying gold. So that could be something that we need to keep an eye on. If more commercial banks are planning to buy gold, we might see gold pushing up, similar to a rally that we had last year. So we see that gold is refusing to go down. But let's see if we can get a continuation to the upside and hit our take profit. We did try one trade during the London session, and it didn't plan out as well. We did hit our stop right here. Now we want to see if we can, get a continuation move to the upside during the New York session. That's why Bullion Bullz Trading AI system is going to really help us on live stream here to see how, where should we be putting our stop, where should we be putting our take profit, and where should we having our entry. So let's see if gold can push to the upside. Close that. Let's see if we can get a pop all the way to the TP. We're seeing pressure starting to build up here at 2. Remember, we want to see this above 2. So pressure is building up. We see volume is picking up. Buyers are dominating clearly. Everything is pointing towards a buy. And plus we have an A+ signal as well. Let's see. Nothing is guaranteed in trading, guys. So with this new approach we have with a stop loss and a take profit, we don't have to worry about, taking a trade, because whenever we take a trade, we will always have our stop and a take profit added to the trade itself, right? I'm thinking of a quick pop to the upside. If it pops quickly to the upside, then we might be able to take a good trade. If not that, then we might have to just close the trade. If this goes below 2, I might just close the trade anyways. Yeah, last night during the London session, we did not have a good follow through. and eventually did hit our stop loss. If it refuses to go up, we might just have to close our trade here. Because a lot of the time, like yesterday, this was way below 2. So, and we were thinking that we were going to see a continuation. But the pressure is above 2 today. So let's see if this gives us a follow through. A lot of the times markets just like to stay sideways and then give a pop. So let's see if we can get a pop and really just get this take profit done with. Any breaking news coming out? Let's quickly go through Forex Factory and see if we have anything coming out. There's no news coming out. There are plunges further as storage fills and Hormuz exports are blocked by conflict. So oil is starting to get a hit in terms of pushing to the upside. This might be bad for gold. But what we did see day before yesterday was commercial banks are planning to buy more gold, so that could be something. But we want to see if this goes below 2. Seems like we might just be exiting this one at a loss, potentially. Let's see if, I'm just going to keep an eye on this right here. If we see this going below 2, might as well just close the trade. But as long as we're above 2, we're just going to keep holding. Yeah, market is a bit sideways right now. So we might see oil is kind of staying down. It's not pumping. Because if oil pumps, then we have, gold dumping. Because oil pumps, dollar pumps, and then gold dumps. Like right now we're above 2, so we're going to keep an eye on this. We're not worried about the market yet. If let's say we see this going below 2, that would be the first sign that, sellers are starting to dominate the market and it's better to just close the trade. Because, we want to be staying out of weakness. We want to only be entering when there is high probability trade setups. And this was one of the high probability trade setups along with the volume actually. Okay, we're below 2 right now, but we're still holding the band. So yeah, with live streams, what's gonna happen, guys, is like on live streams, we're gonna see live trade opportunities just like this, with our perfect stop, with a take profit, and every trade is gonna give us a minimum 1:2. Initially, our live streams were trading around 1:1.5 1.5R, but now every trade that we take on this channel is gonna give us a minimum 1:2. pressure is kind of going down, so we just got to keep an eye on pressure. Let's see if we can get a move. Remember, guys, this is just for information purposes and educational purposes. The purpose of our channel is to show you guys rule-based system trading so that you can learn to see another style of trading. If you can see this pop all the way to the take profit, especially with the volume coming in, buyers are still dominating. Let's see if we can get that pop all the way to the take profit. We do see that prior day candle, today's candle has closed above the prior day candle. So we are seeing there's some uncertainty around Iran and US talks. So let's see if we can get a pop all the way to the upside. Just like there. Might as well just keep stop right below this. These are decisions being made in real time, guys. Especially when you're making decisions in real time, you have to be very, very attentive to news, to price movement, and then make your decision. Any weakness in price would be the first indication for us to get close the trade, because we can find another setup. That's not a problem. So we don't want to be marrying our setups. And there you go. I'm going to close there. I'm closing it there, guys. Just taking half loss, which is okay. If we do get a volume continuation, I'll try to enter again. But right now, it just doesn't seem like price wants to push up. This is still below 2. And we are seeing that weakness similar to what we saw last night, like similar to here. So better to just stay out of the trade. We'll see if we can get a sell side move. But right now, nothing was giving us that certainty towards continuation. Especially with pressure starting to drop, I was feeling a bit nervous about the move to the upside. It can still move, but I won't be a buyer. I won't be a buyer right now. Unless I do see like volume follow through, then I would be a buyer. But right now, it's no point of entering the trade. And I might reduce my risk as well. I don't want to be taking bigger risk. Because the same thing happened yesterday, and the best part is like we are going through this this trading system live on stream here, so a lot of us are going to be able to see live how this really works. A lot of our setups are going to pop live here in front of you guys with a set stop and a take profit. So right now we're seeing market is starting to range. It's a range bound market. So we don't want to be, being worried about any stops or like we're not worried about taking entries right now. We're just going to wait. Okay, we're seeing an A+ setup form. It's forming inside this. However, it's a strong setup. I don't see pressure following through, so I'm just going to wait. This could be a setup that we can take. I've seen this setup work a lot of times. So we go, I mean, 1 to 2 here. Yeah, like what the limitation of this product is that once we have a trade going on, it will not give us the next box. That's the only limitation, guys. Especially right now, I feel like market is choppy and it's ranging right now, even though our bias is to the upside, but we might get like short-term moves like this, like this to the downside. So I want to like ideally what we want is like price breaking the stop and then pushing down. Yeah, even if we get a sell signal, I won't enter unless this goes above 2. Unless our pressure goes above 2. Even entering to the buy side would be only when our pressure starts to go above 2. Yeah, I don't want to be taking any trades if the setup doesn't form. Especially with what we see right now, the market is choppy, market is rangy, it's range bound. Okay, so we're going to see Iran's conditions on ending the war in a bit. Yeah, like even though we get this, even though we get the signal here, we do want to see our pressure starting to go above 2. And with this, I want to see a low getting created and then the low breaks. However, since our daily candle is still above the previous day high, I want to stay in buys. Like I want to only be looking for buys. That's one, like where's the daily candle? Right here. So we want to see this pushing up and we are still interested in buys. Like we're not interested in sells. That's why my bias was a buy, because our daily candle has closed above the previous day candle. Has opened above the previous day candle. So when that happens, we look for buys. So right now we're waiting. I feel like we're waiting for the news to come out. Like let's say if the war ends, then potentially the price can start moving. This is one of the things I've noticed more recently, that price moves because of it's moving because like it's moving a lot because of the news, and only the news that impacts it these days is the news related to war, nothing else, nothing else. Like day before yesterday, there was the news about commercial banks buying gold, and price hardly moved. Instead, it dropped. So that was one of the things that I noticed day before yesterday. Okay, so we see another setup, guys, here for the sell. This is a very solid setup. I might take a small trade here. Opening a small trade here, guys. 350. Yeah, there you go. Might just take a small trade. This is a very small trade, guys. I don't want to be risking a lot, but the setup is it's a strong setup. It's one of the strongest setups we have in this in our arsenal. So I want to ensure that we are able to take advantage of our setups as they form, because yesterday we had success with A plus sells. So I took A plus sell here. It's low probability. That's why we have reduced our risk on the table. But it is one of the highest. Like it is a setup. When it forms, there's high chance of it following through. So what we want right now is we want to reduce the risk on this setup quickly. We don't want to be risking a lot on this trade really. So we're going to quickly keep reducing our risk on the table. So even if it reverses and takes us out, because remember, it's based on the setup here that we took this trade. And if it, let's say, continues to push down, uh, we potentially can add contracts, but my target is going to be trying to take a quick win and then just call it a day on this one at least, right? But yeah, the best part about our setup, our strategy, our system, our Bullion Bulls trading system is that it's going to give you these trades. We're going to get these trades during the market. So it seems like market is kind of waiting for this news to come out. If there is no ceasefire, we will see gold pushing down, oil pushing up. So we can see, okay, we're seeing price starting to come down. This is still below 2. That is the only thing that's stopping me from taking a bigger position here. And I want to just keep reducing my risk on the table, basically. Yeah, like that's what I want to do, guys. I want to keep reducing my risk. There should be zero risk on the table right now. And we're managing our trade live here on stream. Just want to be pushing the stop to break even. So there's no risk on the table right now for me. And I'm being aggressive because the overall bias and the overall direction has been to the upside with no volume confirmation to the downside. So that's why I've been very, very aggressive. Even if we get stopped out, I'm perfectly fine with that. So yeah, right now, if we see a continuation to the downside, we might be able to get some entry, but if not, then we might just get stopped out here. And this would confirm our overall reading that price wants to continue pushing up based on our bias, based on our direction that we have discussed. And if it stops us out, that's totally fine. But whenever we will see a star setup, we will enter these trades, because any star setup that you see popping up on the screen is going to be a very, very high probability setup to give us a follow through. But since the overall direction, the overall bias has been to the upside, onto the buy side, that's why we have decided that we're going to be focusing on, only buys for today. And we have been aggressive with trailing our stop. Now, normally I would let my stop hit, but since I've seen yesterday that we took a sell and it hit our stop, and it was all these buy conditions were still valid and everything was still working, but eventually it didn't follow through, and that's why we are a bit reluctant this morning to let our stops hit on the sell side. So think about it, like if we didn't close the trade, it was going to hit our stop anyways, right? So this is kind of like one of the things that you can see. As soon as your volume starts to drop, you can make a decision to actually close your trade. And that's a wonderful thing about our trend master indicator, that if we see volume starting to drop, volume starting to pick, we can add more positions or we can reduce our positions as the volume starts to increase to let's say the sell side in this case, or if it starts to drop, we can potentially start reducing our risk on the table, or what we can do is we can be aggressive with trailing our stop. So yeah, guys, I feel like because we have this low here, gold can potentially push towards this low right here. Again, we are utilizing here our volume here, and we're not worried about price hitting our stop. I'm not too worried about price hitting our stop. If it does, that's a feedback, and we will then wait for a perfect trade setup with a clear direction, rather than trying to take these setups. yeah, market is kind of starting to go in a range, and if it reverses from here, potentially that would be with the news, and that's a good sign because if it reverses and pushes up, we can then look for an entry to the upside, which is consistent with our bias for the today. But we're seeing a lot of sell volume coming in, a lot of pressure to the sell side is kind of developing here. So if that continues to push, we can see price moving to the upside. And like these are the things that are gonna make our setups very, very clean, because what's gonna happen on live streams, you're gonna see us taking these setups, and sometimes they will work out, sometimes they will not work out. And since trading is all about probabilities, right? Trading is all about probabilities. We took our stop here, guys. So it hit our stop. We took our best setup here, and the price hit our stop. So now we're gonna wait to see if we can get a trade which is consistent with our overall bias for today. It might continue pushing to the downside if this goes above 2. Yeah, guys, you can see that, as soon as news comes out, gold is starting to behave, and we're seeing oil starting to push. We're starting to see a high volume candle popping up as well. Now what we want to see is we want to see this going above 2 for us to plan another entry to the downside, because this kind of changes everything for us here. If the war continues, oil is going to pump to the upside and gold is going to drop to the downside. And the reason behind it is that if gold drops, sorry, if oil pumps, then dollar pumps, right? So that's where the logic lies. So yeah, so right now, review the proposal and considers it excessive. Timings of war's end. Okay. So yeah, so this is where, guys, is going to be uncertainty in the market. Markets are not going to like it. We potentially might see a push to the downside. and that will be in line with our setup here. But yeah, I'm not in favor of taking trades right now, especially with us having no idea about, the direction of the volume right now. So we're just gonna wait. So let's say if we do get a move, I like we'll be getting a more trendy move. So this is where we were expecting price to come to. But right now, since it's all about the news right now, that's why you're not seeing a follow through in the price. So you go to the daily candle. Daily candle is still above the previous day high. So we're still on the buy side, but we're gonna wait and see if we can get some sort of setup forming. Guys, a lot of manipulation is happening during the New York session. And that's what is causing all this uncertainty in the direction of the price. So we're saying defending operations will continue until its conditions are met. The first conditions for the end of the war is the end of attacks and assassinations. So that's one condition. So let's see, guys, like how the market responds. We're not in a rush right now. We're gonna wait for our setup to form. There is some mix elements, right? So we had this sell, then we got this buy volume coming in. So now we're just gonna wait. And if we do get a sell, for example, we do want to see. So two things might happen today. We might sell and go back into the previous day range, or we push and create a new high for the day, depending on which side the news takes the market. So we just have to wait for now because a lot of manipulation is going to happen during this during the morning time. Yeah, on this channel, you guys are going to get unfiltered um, information. You're going to get more, practical steps of, understanding how the market operates. So this is my goal. This is my goal. How such events combined with our setups really align together when the market conditions are ideal. So right now, our pressure is below 2. So what we're waiting for is some kind of push to the upside, and along with that, we want to see a strong buy signal coming in, and we'll take another trade at $250 risk, because we might get like more cleaner trade during the Asian session, and we'll soon look into potentially start streaming Asian session. Right now, we're just looking to trade New York session. New York sessions these days are a lot messy. There's a lot of chop, a lot of volatility happens during this time with regards to news. There's too much uncertainty, and that leads to then causing all this like choppiness in the market. Okay, so this is something that can impact oil prices, but there has to be some sort of again, there has to be some sort of certainty around this particular news right here. So anyone who's watching our channel here, it's very important that you guys download, you guys, create a free account on financialjuice.com. You need to have, Forex Factory open all the time to keep an eye on potential news events that might trigger, volatility. during the week. So today is Wednesday, and we see there is no red news, right? Apart from like no red news for USD. So okay, so what it could be potentially price, hit our stop, reversed, and then pushing back up. But let's see what happens because we don't have any direction right now. Yeah, guys, so there is kind of a mixed signal, you see, like we're seeing pressure starting to go above 2, but price is starting to drop. So this is where, there's that misalignment and we don't want to be, taking any trades. I would wait for a 30-minute candle close to see more direction, and then we will be looking for any trades, okay? But for right now, the market is choppy. You guys can see we got a sell, we got a buy signal here. That didn't work out. We got a buy signal here. That didn't work out. The only signal that works out was a sell signal. Price is choppy right now. So no signals are really working out. And this is one of the brutal truths about the market, right? When markets are, let's say, to the buy side, and they are like, apparently it shows that market is buying, however price is not moving, you should know that there is manipulation going on. Remember, our trend master indicator is a non-lagging indicator. It tells you what the price is doing at the present. Any signals you get, anything you get is based on current price action. So right now we're seeing buyers starting to dominate, but we want to see, a push to the upside, combined with a potential setup forming, and then we'll take our trade. But right now, we're not seeing any clear direction is getting established. Pressure is building up to the buy side. Uh, if a setup does form, we will take a setup, but with low risk. And this is where we have pivoted from what we were doing earlier, just taking one or two trades on stream, to now taking our setups based on our bias for the day. However, we will reduce our risk on every trade. And the key is going to be to, grow our account. Remember, guys, we're paper trading here. This is only for information and educational purposes. Don't risk your real money, since we're not risking our own money here. So just learn to see, trade setups, learn to see how we trade using a systematic approach. And then once you have, some idea, that's when you can start trading with a very, very small amount of capital. Enough capital that you're willing to lose. Because remember, in trading, you are going to lose. You should be comfortable with losing money. If you're not comfortable with losing money, there's less likely chance of you succeeding in trading. And this goes against every belief we have with regards to, survival. It's basically basic human instinct that we want to survive. And this prevents us from taking any losses. And that's why trading is such a difficult profession, because you are fighting against the true, fighting against the two basic human emotions, which are fear and greed. So we are seeing pressure building up. So we're seeing now, as the market opened, we're seeing war-related news started to come out. Now, unless we see a clear directional move, we're not going to be participating in this market. We're seeing pressure building up. We're seeing pressure is to the buy side. However, we do not see structure which would tell us that price wants to push to the upside, or we do not see, the volume domination, which would tell us that, price wants to push to the upside. Like whenever price starts moving inside a band, along with the whenever price starts to move inside the band, it tells you that the range price has started to become choppy. Market has become slow, and we're not going to be able to take these trades at all in this kind of market. So in this case, as pressure is starting to build up, we might see a break to the upside. And if that's combined with some sort of positive news, which can lower the oil prices and pump gold, that's when, we would be potentially looking for trade setup. Right now, we are just going to be sitting on the sidelines and trying to see if we can see some sort of volume coming into gold. Yeah, the setups have been very, very weak. Like, look at this setup. It was extremely weak setup, even though it's our A plus setup, right? This setup was a weak setup as well. We kind of took out early because we came out early because Iran wants intentional recognition of authority over Hormuz Strait. Okay, so everything is kind of negative right now, especially. And why negative? Because think about it from US perspective, that Iran is saying that it wants control over Strait of Hormuz, and US does not want that. So, everything is kind of pointing towards like potential war continuation. Okay, so we see another setup, guys, here. Volume is picking up. We might try to take another trade here and see if this works out. Just just want to be potentially pushing this here. This is our A plus setup here. Ending. Okay. They have laid out 5 conditions for ending the war. So this could be something that can help us. Yeah, we might add one more contract here with a stop literally just at 4548. 4548. I might add another 250 here because volume is really strong and it's in line with the overall direction that we want to take with the trade. Okay, so we have core 4 contracts here, guys. Market is closing like the candle close here with A plus setup giving us a trade based on volume. We're seeing volume clearly dominating on one side, along with the structure, along with the bias. And if we don't see a follow through, we might just be closing our trade setup. Let's see if we can get some sort of push. Let's see if we can get a follow through, guys. Yeah, guys, so like right now we're seeing market just trying to push to the upside. We see pressure building up. This is a very strong sign that price wants to push up. Let's see if we can see a continuation here. Sellers are weak, buyers are dominating the market right now. Let's see if we can continue pushing up. We have 4 contracts here. Okay, so pressure is picking up here. There is potential move can come to the upside. Remember, we are always targeting 1:2. Any drop in pressure is going to be the first thing we're going to be looking towards to see if we want to exit out of the trade. Let's see if we can see this push to take profit, which is right here. Yeah, sometimes the market can do its things just like it's doing right now, which is perfectly fine. And there can be that manipulation. Okay, pressure is starting to come down again. Let's see if we can get a follow through. And this is why you will see that when you're taking trades on live stream with such a trading system where you have live trades coming out, you have to be very attentive and managing your risk appropriately so you can take advantage of these trade setups. We're seeing pressure staying above 2, which is a good sign. A couple of things that currently are going for us, which is number 1, price is above the previous day high. We have our volume dominating on the buy side. But a lot of the time, there are days when you will have manipulation. So yeah, this could be today could be one of those days. And like right now, we're still seeing price, trying to push to the upside. Let's see if we can get a continuation to the upside, that'll be great. With a lot of volume backing the move, we want to see price pushing to the upside. If not, then that's still fine. However, based on all the data that we are seeing, we would want to see price pushing to the upside. The trend is, it's showing that everything is kind of aligning, and that's where, sometimes you will see everything aligning, but the trade will not plan out. And we just want to be, you know, waiting for first signs of potentially losing momentum. And if that happens, we might just need to close our trade. Let's see if we can get a push. It does not happen often. Like a lot of the times you will see our trade setups, once they pop, price starts to push into the trade setup in the direction of our setup. But it's because of the news and the overall volatility uh, that the direction of the price changes with the given moment. Okay, so they are saying talks won't happen until the 5 conditions are met. So that is another thing we would potentially see as negative. And let's say if it's our stop, we should potentially just close the trade. And then we'll just observe the market. We'll just sit on the sidelines and observe the market. And yeah, like if it hits our stop, there's no fighting the market because it's just not our day today. Yeah, it's not just our day. It's not our day today, and the market is just kind of behaving in that manner, right? Yeah, like every setup that we took, this setup failed, this setup failed, this setup worked, uh, this setup worked, this setup failed. So any buys are not working, only sells are working, especially for right now. Okay, how much are we? Okay, still we're good, no worries. But yeah, it's a market where we potentially might not be able to take good trades. So it's better to just wait for now. I just want to quickly see something, guys. Yeah, okay. Lost almost like 150, 150. Yeah. Yeah, the market is kind of behaving in that sense where it wants to hit the stop. So if it hits a stop again and again, it already did it 2 times. One time here, one time here, one time here. So yeah, we're just going to be an observer of the market right now. No trades until we see a clear direction. Unless and until we see a clear direction, we would want to be looking to buy. However, Okay, initial response is not positive, but Tehran is still reviewing the proposal. Okay, so there you go. This is the kind of news we were waiting for, but this news came out. So that's why you see that reversal. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, market is, really, really responsive to the news. So what we want to do right now is we potentially might just want to observe the market. I don't want to trade the market right now. I'm just going to wait and because we already took almost 3 trades. So, and out of the 3, 1 was a break even, 2 were losses. So I think we're done for taking any trades today. My bias is still long, so I'm looking to the upside, but with the stop loss and the trade profits that we're getting, it's hard to, you know, especially with the current market conditions, it's quite easy to hit the stop. So might as well just stay on the sidelines and wait for cleaner setups to form. Yeah, what happens is a lot of the times what's going to happen is market gives you feedback. Market gave us feedback today that we're not reading the market right. And it didn't make sense to take any more trade setups. Now we want to wait for a 30-minute candle close. Yeah, 13-minute candle close is where we're going to see a potential push. And and what you see here on the chart, right? The price reverses exactly when the setup gets created. And this is when, our strategy is not working for the day inside the market, or we are not reading the market correctly. Now it might just hit our take profit, but I'm not interested in entering anymore. And we might just watch sitting on the sidelines, price eventually going and hitting our take profit. So the 30-minute candle close did not have any impact on overall. movement. So yeah, we're just gonna keep sit on the sidelines, wait for market to improve. Today is one of those days where no matter what you do, it's gonna be no matter whichever strategy you use, it's gonna be difficult to trade this conditions the conditions today that we're seeing in the market. So yeah, I'm not gonna fight the market. I'm just gonna wait for an ideal trade setup to form and then potentially plan our entry. Yeah, that's the best part about our live streams is that we're going to be using our setup to trade every single day in front of you guys. So you'll be able to see how our setups perform in real time on a day-to-day basis. And it's because of the crushing crude oil inventories we are seeing price starting to push to the upside. And I'm not interested in taking part. Better to wait on the sidelines, wait for cleaner setups to form, and that's when we would be able to take the trades. Yeah, like right now, what we want to see is uh, one thing that we should have seen earlier was our 2 hour candle here. What is the candle doing here, right? So, for example, we have our 2 hour high, 2 hour low, and 2 hour high. Now we want to see price either pushing above it or below it. And this gives us a range. If market wants to push above, we want to see price pushing above the 2 hour high and then giving us a high and then a break of the high. And then potentially we can be looking at volume confirmations to then take the trade. This is something we missed in our initial analysis, and we're going to keep that in mind. Write that in our trading journal. Yeah, so this will actually make sure that for the next time we have, because guys, we need to look at different time frames to make our judgment and then use that to align the setups that we see on our chart. So yeah, right now market is just pushing to just moving sideways, and our time is potentially going to come to an end in terms of live stream. Our live stream is going to come to an end within an hour. So we're just waiting for the markets to give us some feedback. Market gave us feedback this morning. Remember, whenever it hits your stop loss, market giving you feedback. Market gave you feedback that, oh, whatever you're doing today is not going to work. So better not to trade. No. And then another thing we would have actually skipped if we would have ensured that we look at our hourly time frames to see maybe we're in a range, in an hourly range, and in this case we were in an hourly range. So next time, want to make sure we keep an eye on that. Because think about it, right? So if you go back, go to our candle. Let's go. This was our prior to our candle. When did this open? This opened at 8, right? So this was actually our candle. Previous candle right here. Then we had this. What price did? Price went below this right here at 549. So when was it? Yeah, so it went right here, below it, and then reversed, right? And that was the only move we would have gotten. Since our bias was long, we would have looked for long right above this high. And we see that. So that's something we need to keep in mind going forward, that we want to be looking at hourly time frames to ensure that our direction is in line with the overall trend. Because what happens is, like on a 2-hour time frame, right? So now we have this low and this high, and price is kind of staying inside. So we know that we're in a range. So we'll not be interested in the market until we see some break, until we see price pushing above the high. If it pushes above the high, gives us a new high, breaks the high, then we potentially could be looking for trading the up move. But since we have marked out these ranges, we can actually just wait and sit on the sidelines for this range to either break to the upside or to the downside. And whenever it will, we will see volume starting to peak up as well. Yeah, right now it's just market is sideways. Market is sideways, and the feedback overall has been that our strategy might not be giving us good entries today. And this is where our indicator truly shines. The Bullion Bullz trading system truly shines because it tells you when to trade, when not to trade. These are some layers that we have created within the indicator that helps us assess whether to trade or not to trade. And we will show that on live streams every single day. Because right now, our volume is telling us, okay, we want to be buying. But even though pressure is pushing up, however, price is staying where it is, right? So that is one of the signs, first signs of absorption. Whoever is trying to buy, sellers are absorbing those buyers. And that's why we see pressure pushing up, but price is not, pushing. Price is not increasing due to increase in pressure. And that's the first signal that your edge might not be working today. And what we did, we took bigger risk here, then we reduced our risk here, and then we took a smaller risk here as well. And each time we had our stop loss hit. Because all these setups have been back tested for, you know, their, their, what do you say? Their efficacy towards, whenever they show up, they would move, price would move in that direction. But today, it's because of the volatility or because of not a lot of participants being in the market. We're seeing that price is kind of staying in this range, as you guys can see here. Same kind of thing right here. We had this massive move to the upside. We kind of captured this move, and then price is just kind of ranging. So yeah, so like it's just a range. Yeah, and especially when you see this kind of price action where the candles are pretty close to each other, that should tell you that there's high resistance to price movement, right? So it's trying to move up, but it's moving extremely slowly. And these are kind of markets that you want to be, potentially trying to stay out. Let's look at the oscillator. Yeah, the oscillator was overall buy, with volume being on the buy side. However, the structure was not aligned, right? Structure was not aligned. US House Speaker Johnson, Operation Epic Fury is almost done. Okay. Okay, that's a positive. That's a positive for the market. Because let's say if we do see a move, it's going to be a strong move. So yeah, we want to be waiting for our 30-minute candle close to see if we can see any price movement. But for right now, we're in this range. In this range right here in front of you guys. It just doesn't make sense to take any trades. Especially our setup failed here. Then this setup went to break even. This setup failed as well to the buy side. So we're not be taking any trades. Unless we see price pushing up, creating a new high, and then showing some continuation to the upside. Remember, Bullion Bull trading system relies on three different things. Three different layers. We have the oscillator, we have the structure, and we have the volume. Yeah, on this channel, what we do is we trade momentum. We trade momentum and we trade in the direction of that momentum. So for example, here we saw potential buy momentum coming in. We took the trade eventually went to stop, right? Here we did not trade. We took this trade, there was buy momentum, and but the buy didn't plan out. So we're just gonna wait, guys. We're seeing a lot of buy momentum building here. But we do want to see price structure now. There's no point of taking a trade if there's no price structure. It could just be this range. And the range follow through just keeps on happening, right? Gets tighter and tighter, and then potentially breaks out either during the Asian session. So it's better to just wait. I'm not in a rush. We already took a couple of trades, like we already took almost 3 trades. 2 hit our stop, 1 went to break even. And price is also slow. Price is extremely slow right now too. So we want to be mindful. Yeah, and it sometimes happens. The price just moves without you. So, and that's perfectly fine with me. I'm not worried about it hitting our take profit because it's inside the range anyways, right? Like we've pretty much automated the whole system, guys. So now what's gonna happen is like we're gonna take these live trades in front of you guys on stream. Trades are gonna pop up. We're gonna take these trades. We're at 30 minute to candle close. Yeah, and this is what I meant that we will not be taking any more trades because if you try to, let's say, FOMO in here, you would have pretty much lost this trade as well. And the best part is like, one thing people don't understand that not every strategy is going to work all the time, right? Sometimes the strategy will work really well. Sometimes it will not work well, right? So you got to be mindful and you want to ensure that you're taking advantage of those moments. Yeah, guys. So there was a lot of breaking noise, big background noise. So that's why I kind of just pushed it to music, background music. So right now you guys can see that market is pretty rangy. Like we're still staying in that 2 hour range. Not a lot of movement. We do see this sell starting to develop here, but and we do have this sell pressure starting to push to the sell side. Sellers are starting to dominate, but we don't really see aggressive domination on one side, right? So that's why we're a bit reluctant to take any setups now. We already took 3 setups for today. As I mentioned earlier, we had 2 losses and 1 break even. So like right now, it seems like price is just kind of staying in this range, and our 30-minute candle close is coming to close in candle close is coming in 9 minutes. So we don't want to be looking to, take any trades after that because our trading time is over within 9 minutes. So yeah, today we didn't get any trade setups, mainly because of a lot of news just coming out during the day. And yesterday we had some news around peace deal happening and all that. So that was the reason we were able to see gold really start pumping. And right now we don't really see any directional movement. A lot of the times during New York session, there is manipulation happening in the market, and that's what we want to be avoiding right now, right? We want to be avoiding manipulation. We want to be trading only the times when setups are clean. What we're gonna do is we're gonna potentially see if I can stream Asia session as well, starting today. So we might start streaming Asia session and London session, a part of London session, depending on how the market performs, and then we can truly see the strength of our trading system here. Yeah, remember there's like different kinds of trading styles. Our trading style is basically mainly based on momentum, and we use non-lagging indicator, which is the Bullion Bullz Trendmaster indicator. It's non-lagging and non-repainting. So yeah, just guys, keep an eye on the chart. We're not taking any trades for today. I'll be closing stream within 7 minutes. Okay, guys. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day and stay out of the markets for today, at least during the New York session, because there's not a lot of movement going on. It's just pretty much range bound within the two hour candle range. So we don't want to be taking trades during this time, and we want to be sitting on sidelines, just waiting for a good trade setup to form potentially, right? Okay, guys. See you guys tomorrow, or if we do stream the Asian session then.